Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, and today we are talking sharp edges on a fondant cake. Yeah, what you're looking at is fondant, and I'm gonna show you how to get those edges razor sharp. So firstly, I'm just going through the crumb coating process, and if you do not know how to do this, please refer to my video. I think 2 weeks from here I did make a video on how to crumb coat a cake. Alright, so step number 1 is to knead your fondant. And once that is done, I am putting corn flour onto my silicone mat and I begin rolling out my fondant. It is, however, safe for you to measure out your cake first before doing this step, so you see the height and the length, the height and the width that you need to be rolling out. But I, however, eyeballed mine because I have been doing it for quite some time, so I do have a rough estimation of what it should look like. Next step is I'm smoothing out my fondant using a smoother, then cutting it straight using my pizza cutter. And I'm just gonna measure my cake now to make sure that I did get the correct length and the width with my fondant. So for the height, you obviously measure from top to bottom, and for the width you go around the cake. Once I was sure, I went ahead with my rolling stick and I'm rolling my fondant onto the rolling stick. Remember to put cornstarch before rolling your fondant like this, else it will stick together. Alright, next step is that I'm just gonna put out my cake from the bottom board because I did forget to put a thin board there. Then I'm gonna place some fondant on top, a baking paper and a board, and there goes the flipping. Thank you, that's where I get my muscles from. Thank you so much. Yeah, so once I flip the cake, I make sure that the fondant is properly laid down, and then I'm gonna overlay. Remember the fondant that we rolled out? Yes, we're putting it on now. Make sure that it is overlapping your cake. Make sure that it is touching the bottom fondant. Remember the bottom fondant that's on top of the cake? Make sure that the two fondants are actually meeting when you're putting this one. Okay, if I do not explain it better, I hope my video does. After that, I am actually smoothing out the fondant. If you do come across any bubbles doing this too, please make sure you pop them and continue smoothing out. Once that is done, I am cutting off the excess fondant that is remaining from my fondant wrap, and I'm just gonna join the two there, and they're gonna create a line. So what you want to do is that you want to put a bit more pressure. So I'm using 2 smoothers at this point just to make sure that my line is kind of invisible. Then we continue smoothing out. So once that is done, guys, I'm just removing the excess fondant that is on top of the cake. I'm using my scissors right at this point because I forgot my thin board once again, but if I did, I would have used a knife. Then I'm gonna continue smoothing out and making sure that my sides are still straight. Once that is done, it's almost like you're pinching the two fondants, the fondant that is overlapping from your sides and the fondant that is at the bottom, which is actually the top of your cake. So you are pinching the two using the right angle of your smoother. So you are pressing it down while you're at the right angle. Then after that is done, you remove the excess overlapping fondant, cutting as close to the cake as you can, but not too close. Alright, and then you go back again using your smoother at a 90-degree angle and you pinch those sides together. We want to make sure that they really like together. Once that is done, we're gonna use our flexi smoother and pinch out. So what you want to do is that you want to start a bit from the top of the cake. That way you know that you are really removing the excess and you're not going in too deep, or you're not going a bit out of the cake. So I think my video explains it all at this point. That's basically what I'm going to be doing, and this is a process you do not want to step. This is what gives you those sharp and neat edges. So once I was done with my knife, my flexi smoother, guys, I just went back in with my knife to remove any of those excess that the smoother might have left or was unable to remove completely. Then the flipping comes again, and I have to flip the cake now back to its original position, which is how it's actually supposed to be sitting. So I did place my small thin board that was supposed to be there the entire time that I forgot, just so that it's easier for me to move my cake around once it's on the original board that it's supposed to sit on. So I just flipped it back from its upside down position, and guys, did this cake not almost fall on me? But yeah, we managed to save it, and I pushed it back to its position. Then I removed the baking paper and board, and then the next step was just to clean it up a bit on the top in case there is some fondant that is laying around there, and then give it another round of smoothing, and there you go, guys. Those are perfect edges. And guys, would you look at how amazing those edges look. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. See you next week, same time. And remember to hit your notifications buttons if you haven't. If you're new, please do subscribe and share my video. I love you guys, and see you next time. Bye.